Prince Haliantar,
Not so loud.
my apologies. Your uncle sends words. You've been summoned
All
to
right.
council.
Is everybody else ready to go?
Sure.
All right, friends. Let's go. See what they have to say. We'll make our way to council.
And you are all led from your ancestral home there, Hal, the home of your parents and your childhood that was made ready for you. Led once again to the large council chambers. Roaring fire that is always kept lit in the center. Stone seats in a circle. And the 8 elders already sitting and waiting.
Greetings, Uncle.
I'm surprised. I thought I might have to send a few more summons to wake you this morning, but
Yeah, Ingrid, she makes some of that really strong stuff on top of some really nice stew. So, it's good to be home. It thins the blood, as it were.
and we are glad to have you, Prince Haliantar. But I'm afraid, and she looks over towards Ormir, this council meeting was called again, not for discussions of drinking and merriment. This is an older human female. Her white hair tied back in an elaborate braid. This is Berthild. We must come to a decision, Ormir. I fear we cannot count on the safety of our valley here for much longer. Agreed, Berthild, agreed. What, have you had time to think on my proposals?
I think we head to the White Grove, or what was once known as the White Grove, and we seek the stray, or the standard of the stray. Should we try to go place to place in the middle of winter and reunite all the different tribes, that's going to just take far too long.
Dagrmork.
If we don't find anything there, then we'll cross that bridge.
So instead of possibly losing time going across the north, you would go to certain death in Dagrmork?
You know not the powers of my companions, wielding fire and acid and nature itself, blending into the shadows, walking across water, floating from heights. These brave souls are exactly why you sent me south.
At this point, Hildegard, the elder halfling male, long kind of gray sideburns that go down, don't quite meet in the middle. We don't doubt your companions or you, but many of even your own ancestors have tried to find the standard, have gone to Dagrmork, and were never seen again. The White Grove was once our spiritual center, but is no longer that. It is now Dagrmork, the Dead Grove, and no one living has ever returned.
Hal steps forward and he undoes his necklace that has all the different accoutrements and tribal markings and items that they've collected just over the last week, and he undoes it and undoes the snap and drops the Frost Giant memorabilia along with the orc memorabilia that they've collected over the last week, and just makes a pile of it in front of the group. The Frost Giants came against us in their own habitat. These companions dispatched them within seconds. One thing that our ancestors have never been able to do is go south and learn. And Hal points at Fenthwick, what gentleman here knows the genius under that big ass hat he has. We've gone just with what we know is some tribal magic and large muscles, great axes and mauls, and we think violence is strength. Violence is the way. Might is the way of our people. But I've seen firsthand intelligence and nature's wrath can do combined with might and muscle.
You see the trophies my nephew brings. Yes, no one has come from Dagrmork. Standard has been lost for generations. Many think it to be a mere myth. But does myth not fly our skies now and bring destruction from above? What time other than now do we have? The Northern Watchers must be restored. I agree with my nephew in this. Hal, I would like you to make a persuasion check with advantage for an 18. You see some of the members, Hulada, the acting war chief, Ostara, Alwyn, Lorelei, who immediately start to nod, and then eventually even Hildegard and Berthild and Belinda. Sigh. Cannot stop you. We know that. We know your stubborn nature, so we will give you our blessing. We will still send messengers out to the people, to the factions of the North. Hopefully when you return, and they see the power of the Northern Watchers and the standard raised, they will know to come. May you find warm fires, Prince Aliantar, and return.
So we got this winter clothing in the south where it's not really that cold. Do we have anything a little bit more hardy or thick the clan can provide me and my companions?
Of course. We can provide you with some actual winter gear, not this puffed up costuming from the south.
We are in your debt.
I will see to it, and that's Lorelei. Another female halfling is kind of in charge of the crafters here in the tribe. Well, you must make haste, I fear, for our time is running out. This is your Uncle Ormir. The scouts I had sent to the spine returned at daybreak. All reports seem to suggest that the Crystal Blade has claimed victory over the Drow. They will regroup and start their march here. Weeks at best.
Well, shit. I was hoping we'd have another day, ladies and gentlemen, but we should probably get moving. We'll get some rations, get some food, and we head southeast to the White Grove.
There might be a way, nephew,
Mm-hmm.
to speed your journey. You could make an offering at the Heart Tree here in our grove. Beseech Jian for assistance.
Oh, is that all? We talk all the time.
Kind of gives you an odd look.
Just at that moment, in the corner, Belladin does his magic to figure out what the weather's going to be like for the next 24 hours.
The next 24 hours, I mean, you get a sense of chill wind, but clear skies.
So, around the group, and especially Hal, there's a chill wind that passes through that just comes from nowhere and pushes everybody's robes inside of wherever we are and then disappears. If Hal turns and looks at Belladin will just say, clear skies, but it's going to be cold.
No doubt it'll be cold. Let me make my way to Heart Tree.
Yeah. Fenthwick's like, oh, really? That's what your magic tells you, does it? That it's going to be cold?
Well, I wanted to check and make sure there wasn't going to be a storm or something. It's good to know.
Let us pick out a ram for an offering.
Well, let's go get the stuff, right?
So Ormir brings you down into the valley from kind of where you are, a little higher up on the mountainside. And it's not a big valley, but, you know, it's enough for crops to be sowed and harvested in, you know, summer and spring, and livestock to be kept. And how you would know, further to the northern side of the valley is the grove where your shamans would perform, you know, your rituals of the tribe and to the goddess.
Let us see what we can see. I mean, we've been listening to Hal's talking to his uncle. Like, yeah, we talk all the time, at least like once a week. And, you know, I'm pretty sure that, you know, everything will be fine. And I tell the stories of each time that we've connected, and then tell the story of the great stag in the forest where I became champion.
Not going to lie, nephew, when you first mentioned talking to the goddess in the chamber, I thought maybe you perhaps were still under the effects of Ingrid's mead. But you truly have had quite the adventure down south. You went to the sacred grove.
Indeed, we went to the sacred grove. We fought a great white dragon, and I still bear the scars. And he kind of pulls his collar down, and he shows the scar that was left after he was killed. That still has some probably bluish or white pigment to his skin there. But my companions saved me from the endless sleep. We will make it through.
You've grown into a fine man, nephew, and have good friends.
I have a question for you. So when we were taken and captured, you, the rest of the group, you were relatively mature man, well into his years. Have you ever been far to the south? Whether it was in the form of one of your creature shapes and you migrated south for the winter, or sent on some missionary journey to become shaman, or you, or even in a dream, have you been south?
I can't say that I have, nephew. My apprenticeship and my duties as the tribe's shaman kept me here, and then until we were, well, in our original village, and then once that was overrun.
I swear Belladin could be your son.
I noticed. He is quite a good-looking fellow, but no, I've never been south.
Not even in a dream state or a trance, or, reaching out through whatever that hooch you guys smoke. Nothing like that.
Not that I can recall at the moment, no.
Fair enough. Just a question.
This looks like a fine specimen. And he picks out a ram, and per traditions, I cannot accompany you for the ritual and the offering. Only those going on the journey.
My friends can come, or just me.
Your friends can go, yes. They are going on with you on the journey. They can assist you if you'd like.
Good news, everybody. Y'all are going to go talk to the goddess. I think that's how this works.
And he instructs you on how to perform the ritual, how to slaughter the ram, and offer its heart to your heart tree here at Folkmontborg. You're going to make a roll. Whoever would like to participate and assist can. Marisol waits with Ormir at the entrance of the grove. The mountains kind of close in a little bit, and there's just a small pass that leads to this part of the grove.
All right, Hal will follow the instructions and prepare the offering.
So up to 3 people can assist you on this ritual. Group that is going can go, but up to 3 people can actually assist.
Okay.
So you've done this ritual before, right?
No, I've never done this ritual. Nope. Yep. We were taken prisoner years back and worked for the orcs under duress. When we finally had an uprising and broke free, Ormir led the remaining survivors and those tribes of nomads back to our home, and where I met you wonderful people.
The only time you've actually been to this part of the valley and seen the heart tree, Hal, is when you were finally freed and were able to actually do your coming of age ceremony. A little bit later than it originally planned, but that was the only time you've actually been allowed in. Most of the time it's only the shamans that are allowed here. The only time the rest of the tribe are allowed is for coming of age ceremonies.
So we'll find out what happens.
But we have instructions on how to do this, right? We're not going to end up angering the god.
No, Ormir specifically told me how to do this, and he explains the ritual to the group.
Yep, he told you how to ritually slaughter the ram, take its heart, offer it to the fire beneath your heart tree, and beseech the goddess for your assistance, for her assistance.
All right. I mean, I understand you don't want to get dirty, Bentwick. So.
No. I mean, I just want to make sure we understand what we're doing here. I mean, I was trained as a cleric. I do have some knowledge of rituals and whatnot.
I knew you do. I knew you would. Of course you do. But I meant like literally like getting dirt and blood and ichor and intestines on your hands. That's all. I can handle that part.
Well, that's good to know. You know, I can just like magically whisk it away, right?
We got to take the heart out though.
Yeah, that does sound messy.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's get underway. Al walks the goat over there and then socks it in the head and knocks it out.
Just punches it.
Wow.
All right, so is anyone going to be assisting Hal with this?
Sure, I'll assist him.
Me too. Whatever way I can.
We can have one more person to assist if you'd like. So you enter the sacred space here at Folkmothborg, and once again, almost as a small mirror of the sacred grove in the Sentinel Forest, the air gets warmer. The vegetation here is green. In the center, near the back, where the mountain forms another barrier, a large height of spring and a large fire blazes in a stone basin beneath it. And you start the ritual as your uncle Ormir has instructed. So let's go ahead and give those religion checks from people who are assisting.
That's a pretty good roll there, Penthwick.
Not my first animal sacrifice.
Pretty good too.
Hal, you can make this religion check with advantage, being Gian's chosen champion for the moment.
Okay. Natural 20. For an
Adjusted to a nickname.
18.
That's pretty important. As you throw the ram's heart into the fire, it roars up and turns first blue and then pure white as it grows and grows, almost blinding, and you have to shield your eyes for a moment. And as it subsides, coming from the light, you see a massive, pure white lion step forth from the fire, and he approaches towards your group. And as he reaches you, he sniffs once to the left towards where you are and lets out a massive roar. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please. Nope. Pentwick. Pentwick, you are blown back almost 30 feet, and you take 32 points of radiant damage, and you suffer a level of exhaustion. He sniffs to the left where you are, Belladin, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as he lets out another massive roar in your direction. 22. You are blown back 15 feet, but not knocked prone. And you take, that is 15, 9, 19 points of radiant damage. You are not exhausted, however, as you're able to resist. And the lion turns back towards you, Hal. And with a glare to the left and the right, looks back at you finally, and bows his head, and disappears in a flash of light. After you're all left wondering what this might mean, you feel winds on your face coming from above, and you hear the majestic of a giant eagle. And you see 3 pure white giant eagles circling above and take a dive towards you all. And just as it seems like they're not going to stop, they pull back, massive flapping of their wings, land near you all. And they bow their heads towards you, Hal.
Like I said, we always talk. Gentlemen and ladies, may I present to you our transportation.
And so pretty much these eagles will bear you to the grove and hopefully back, and will await for whenever you all are ready to leave. And it will probably Hal, you probably know it'll cut your journey probably in half. Most importantly, probably avoid a lot of dangers that might be in the tundra.
Yep, but not the dragons in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Penthwick, you all right?
Do I look all right?
Blew your hat off. You normally don't like it when that happens.
Poppy will help Fenswick up and dust him off and stuff. And
Yeah. Fortunately, I keep spells stored for just such occasions. In my ring of spell storing, I happen to have a 5th level cure wounds stored, which I will use on myself now.
So you see the energy glow around Fenwick Ring and then suddenly wrap his body in this kind of bluish light. And you see some of the bruises and cuts from being blown back heal. Still look pretty tired though, Fenwick. So, what would you all like to do?
I think we'll probably pick up winter clothes rations unless we already have it, and then come back here and get ready.
Yeah, and it will take a little bit of time, probably, I would say the rest of the morning into the early afternoon to get everything ready. After that, you were provisioned, and it's up to you when you all want to leave.
Hal will spend some time with Marisol. Let her know she can't go because the next king, blah, 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 blah. Goodbye, peck on the cheek, tap on the head. Okay. Go amongst all his childhood friends.
If you die out there, I will kill you.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'll make sure to kill him first if that happens.
I'm counting on you, Poppy.
Hal will fall into step by Belladin and lean in a little bit and say, I don't think my uncle's your dad, or I'm not your cousin, or however that
What?
works.
Was that a
That's a little out of the random, you know.
was that a theory?
You look just like him. I mean, you guys probably have the same birthmarks.
There's only one way to check.
I'm not getting naked, Poppy. I don't even know where I'm from, technically. I was, for the lack of a better word, donated to my tribe. So, I don't know. I guess it's possible my parents could have come from up here, but I don't really...
Or your dad.
Right. I don't know.
He said he's never been down south, but that second part I never considered. You could have been from here and taken by stork or some other animal.
I mean, I can do all sorts of things with magic. It's not that hard to imagine someone taking a baby somewhere else, because that's what I was when I was given to the Melchris. So,
and you've always had these powers that you've manifested.
I mean, that's an interesting question. I guess we've traveled together long enough. The majority of my magic comes from the Melchris because they taught me their ways, even though I was not a furbolg. But I have some magic that I can do on my own that I think is from my parents, that is completely separate from the nature magic that I learned. So I would have to say that, yeah, my parents definitely had something magical going on.
Kneeling down to Poppy and say, yeah, that's my cousin.
Poppy nods.
Okay. Let's just have that filed away as a theory for now. But let's focus on the mission. I mean, your homeland is kind of in the balance here. That an army is coming. I thought we'd have more time. I was going to, try and heal people around here and use my magic to increase the viability of like plants here, so that way, maybe help with food. But we just don't have the time. We gotta go, right? The eagles are waiting.
Yep.
Indeed, I wish we all had more time and we met under better circumstances. As Ormir walks up to you all.
Oh shit. So Hal has just mentioned that the running theory is we are related, which would make you my dad. Well, here, I'll just say this. I don't know if that's true. We do have a resemblance. I will say that if Hal is anything, I'd be honored to be a part of the family.
Poppy says, when we get back, we'll check the birthmarks.
I thought you might have been my age with that white in your beard, but as I look closer on you, Belladin, is it?
Yes. My tribe, the Melchris, told me that I was deathly ill when they were given me, and that they had to. The reason I have the Melchris magic is because they infused me with their spores, and I barely survived. I guess the strain was so much that I've just always had white hair.
The Melchris, I can't say I'm familiar with that term.
Oh, it's far, far to the south, all the way to the very tip of this continent.
Well, I can't say that I've ever been south, actually, of the Skatfjall. So I do not think I am your father. But you don't know who your parents are, then? If this is in question, I'm a bit confused.
Oh no, I was donated to my tribe as a baby, as an infant. Uh, s- yes, but it was so long ago, and for some reason my parents couldn't stay, or I don't know exactly the circumstances. It's does he seem a little like he's hiding something when he's saying that? Because he's kind of laughing about it.
You can go ahead and give me an insight check.
Yeah, because like now that Hal brings it up, like Belladin's like looking at this guy like that's a 24.
Do they both have beards?
Yes.
I think it's time for a shave.
Oh yeah, that we can look completely different underneath the beard. That's a good point.
With a 24.
Oh, that is a good point. Okay, so before we get to finding out what the result of the insight check is, Belladin either in the moment has forgotten or Jordan has forgotten because Richard and I wrote this backstory, what, 2 years ago? A year ago?
Yeah. A little bit of time.
The Emerald Conclave, which is the whole reason why Belladin was where he was when he joined this group, is because he was going to the Emerald Conclave to talk to them. And the reason for that is because the Emerald Conclave is the one who brought Belladin to the Melkris to be healed. But the Melkris nor the Melkris never found out where the Emerald Conclave got the baby from. Just the Emerald Conclave brought the baby south. So, but that didn't, when we got to the Emerald Conclave, like everybody was gone, right? And yeah, they were changed. So like Belladin never really got his answers for why they brought him down there. I guess they brought him down there because they thought the Melkris could heal him, because he was dying. But yeah, Belladin never got his answers on why they did that. So, but yeah, that's what he tells everybody.
Well, I've never. Oh, so you say that to everyone?
Yes. He makes an amendment. He's like, wait a minute, my parents weren't the ones to drop me off. It was the Emerald Conclave, and they never said where I came from.
I'm going to message you, Belladin,
Oh, okay.
about what you read from.
I didn't know there was homework, guys. I would have reread my backstory. I thought we were in Rick's part of the campaign. Sorry, guys, for not rereading. Okay. I think everyone else in the group is perceptive enough that you would see kind of watching Hal's uncle closely during this conversation, and then there's a certain part, like after he talks about the Emerald Conclave, where he kind of squints, like he notices some reaction in his visage, in the way he talks, or maybe the tension lines on his face. And there's not a lot to go by, right? Most of his face is covered with a beard like mine, but maybe it's a creasing in his forehead or something like that. And now Belladin looks at him and then looks at Hal and like, huh, okay, but then doesn't say anything.
I'm sure you have interesting tales as well, Belladin of the Melkris. Perhaps we can speak more of them when you all return from Dagrmork.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Might be a good idea. But time is of the essence.
Indeed. Yeah, so I take it the ritual went well then, nephew.
We talk all the time, and there are some giant eagles at Heart Tree waiting for us. So I hope they're there when we get back. Good seeing you. And it's more importantly, good seeing you well.
May we find each other around warm fires once again, nephew.
Hal glances to Belladin and back to warm fires.
All right, is there anything else you would all like to do before you depart? Take that as a no. Yes.
Is there anything else you can help with? If we were able to find the standard, everybody would rally, hold a sliver of a chance against these foul creatures.
Indeed. And indeed I can. And he holds up a satchel. The council has given you their blessing, so I have been allowed to give these all to you. And inside you see 5 regular healing potions and 2 greater.
You got a potion in there that takes away exhaustion? Pointing at Fenwick.
I mean, perhaps some of Ingrid's mead might make you feel like you're not exhausted anymore. But no, unfortunately, we are limited. We are still, honestly, we have never truly recovered from when we were taken by the Crystal Blade. Dagrmork here is a refuge, a place we'd come to for rituals and such. Never in my lifetime had we actually used it as a safe haven. But that's what it was built for. That's where we find ourselves once again. Blekivarda, our true home, is found once more. And the Northern Watchers return to power. Will you leave today then, nephew?
I think we need to make haste, because if we go there and we can't find what we need, then we're going to have to travel across the north. So,
Indeed.
as much as I leave today, he glances towards Fenwick. We need to.
May the goddess protect you, nephew. I know you can do this. This is your destiny.
With that, Hal will turn on his heel and head back towards the Eagles.
And as you all make your way through the valley to the back entrance where the grove is, you see now on all sides surrounding you, everyone has stopped what they're doing and look out towards your group and their prince. And you see some making prayers, some giving you salutes, Hal, many just waving, but many more just standing in solemn silence as you head to Dagrmork, the Dead Grove.
I would like to carry Fenwick, unless he insists not being carried, but he looks like he's going to throw up or is worn out.
Yeah, is there room for me in that sack?
Yes, sir.
So normally this trip, Hal, would take about just as long as almost just as long. It would take about...
Yeah, it's 40 feet, man. That's like 7 days, right?
Yep. Pretty much 7 days on a good trek, right? With no hiccups. So you're not sure how fast you're going to go on these Eagles, but you'd imagine it's pretty good speed compared to journeying overland. And if there's nothing else, you all can get on your rides and tell them where you'd like to go.
Hal will whisper something in his eagle's ear. Please don't let us fall. Get on board and reach down and grab Fenwick and...
All right, so what are the other riding arrangements? So we got Hal and Fenwick on one.
Who's because it's gonna be Poppy and someone else, and then the odd person out's gonna be on their eagle by themselves. Who's
You all
Poppy
let
want
me
to ride
know.
with?
I have no preference.
Belladin explains to Core what's happening.
Poppy can ride with Core and talk his ear off. Yeah, Poppy can do that.
Yeah, so someone should ride with Core that can speak to him.
I mean, we've gone over this. We all technically can. It just doesn't happen for some reason.
Poppy can speak to Core.
Yes, Poppy can understand Core. Core doesn't always understand Poppy.
It's pretty great. I think that's a more humorous pairing.
So you are carrying Fenwick as you get on, Hal. Go ahead, Poppy.
Well, every time Poppy tries to translate to Core, it's more humorous than it is like deliberate, I guess. She'll use sign language and speak really loudly, stuff like that.
Oh, just the worst version of it then.
Yeah.
Hal, as you carry Fenwick onto your eagle kind of shifts for a moment, stepping away from you. Give me an animal handling check with advantage. That's enough it takes. You have to kind of approach it. You say some few words, and it eventually calms. Core and Poppy, you're able to get onto your eagle, no problem. Belladin, as you approach your eagle, the same thing happens. I need you to make an animal handling check for me. And you actually speak to it in Druidic. So with that natural 20, You speak some calming words to it in Druidic, and eventually it its ruffled feathers smooth out, and it lowers its body to allow you to mount up. And you all take off with a mighty flapping of pure white giant eagle wings. And you would know, Belladin, and Fenthic you would probably know as well just in your studies, that you seem to be moving at a greater speed than normal that is cataloged for giant eagles. Sickening speed as they pick up and ride the currents up in the chilly air. It is very cold the higher they get. You are all glad for the thicker, sturdier winter clothing given to you by the Northern Watchers. Zoom through the air, and eventually the sun starts to set and the eagles make their descent, unless told otherwise how they start to make a descent for you all.
Nope, we'll follow what they.
Yeah, but he looks good, and that's what's important.
Yep, fashion over function, like we all say in D&D.
And I assume you put the dome up to make camp, and the eagles actually surround you all as well, looking to keep watch. You can all
You speak with animals to just ask them if they need anything or to let us know if anything happens. Just a loud call. Question, over this trip, I mean, imagine we're spending multiple days with these eagles.
possibly.
Yep, I know, right? But hopefully. Okay, cool. Thank you.
You cast Speak with Animals, and what do you ask again?
I thank them for carrying us and request that if anything happens throughout the night, to simply call out. I imagine their calls would be loud enough to wake us up, and we will aid in any way we can. Even though this is clearly their home, and they are the predators of the sky, but that our meager magics would be able to help them in any way that we can.
And you address the eagle that you were riding on, and the others kind of cock their head as you speak to them, and they glare at you for a moment and continue looking out on their watch.
Right. Well, then we'll return to the dome, a little bummed.
And you all can get a night's rest. Fentwick, you awaken the next morning, ready to put the dome up for those few hours where you would need it until the sun rises. You feel just as tired as you did yesterday. You do not recover from that point of exhaustion.
Bummer, man. Wishing I was a full druid, I would have greater restoration by now. Sorry, man. Oh, you know what, Fentwick? Let's just kill you, and then we can revivify you, and you won't be exhausted.
You agree to this plan, Fentwick?
I don't think it works that way. Does it?
I'm gonna, if this is, since this should have gone away, did not go away. I'm gonna blow a bit of the charm of healing on myself.
And you use a charge from the charm of healing, and you feel its power surge, and you feel it entering your body, Fentwick, and you almost feel its power surging in you, and it's fighting this effect that's just tiring you minute after minute, second after second, and you feel the charm surge and almost flicker with power, and for a moment you feel that nothing has changed, until finally you feel the wariness reluctantly leave your body. But when the sun rises and the temperature begins to warm a bit, you mount your eagles once more and continue your journey to the Dagrmork. And as you fly over, you see below you, Belladin, you see it first, a large settlement, many stone structures sprawled out over this large plateau in the middle of this tundra, almost encompassing the entire plateau. And Belladin, you look back and you see you see what appears to be almost, you think it's a cloud at first, but it's too small and moving too quickly. As you were speeding your way to the southeast, you realize eventually you do see far off, speeding from the west towards your direction.
Belladin bellows out, dragon, pointing his staff. And I would cast Speak with Animals again, use another charge from the staff, and just say dragon, or flying lizard or whatever into their heads and point, so that way all of the eagles know that it's coming.
And with a loud caw, the eagle roars out, and they almost increase their speed. And Belladin, you see, coming from the northeast, a large group of more eagles, probably 12 in total, in a flying V formation, approaching your location first and then veering off towards the west.
Nice.
And when the sun starts to set once more, Belladin, you see no sign of the dragon in the sky, nor
Okay.
the group of eagles as well.
Oh,
I will say, after this day's journey and one more, you see now the peaks of the White Dagger Mountains coming closer and closer into view, and you see a forest, all bare and bleached bone white. The eagles land a bit off from the edge of the tree line, bow towards you, Hal, and then fly off.
is the time we spent with them and the type of creature that they are enough time for me to be familiar enough to change into them with my...
You can go ahead and give me a religion or a nature check. I mean, you would be familiar with them, yes. So given your abilities, you should be able to transform into them if you want to.
Belladin knows no different, so he thinks he just has another wild shape in his pocket, the super fast white giant eagle.
But you have all reached the edge of the Dagrmork. How you instinctually know when the eagles bow towards you and fly off that they're going to be close by and keeping an eye on the tree line for when you return.
Alrighty.
What would you all like to do?
Are we ready? Let's see if there's any obvious entrances. Yeah, it's going to be a little overgrown, but there's got to be some kind of path here. Everybody, look around. Look around.
Is it daytime? What time is it?
Yeah, I would say it's late afternoon at this point, so you have a few hours till sunset and the cold sets in. I forgot to mention how Ormir, your uncle, did take you aside before you left and said there is tradition among the shamans that while the original entrances to the center of the grove are lost, that there was another path. Seek the center. Try to find, call it the Well of Souls. If you find it and it exists, it should take you to the caverns below.
All right. Once we make our way through this area, we're looking for a well, dried up well. Maybe not dried up. I imagine there's some water from the snow, runoff, whatever. Anyways, let's see if we can get just past the exterior wood line.
You want me to scout ahead?
Yeah, you're better than that than I am. You too, Belladin.
As you all enter the tree line, I'm going to need marching order.
Suppose Poppy will be in the front and be first, and maybe be ahead a little bit ahead, probably like.
And again, this is a large open space, right? It's not like you are cramped where you have to go single file.
Oh, it's not foresty, like because I heard tree line.
It is. You see these large trees, but they are all seemingly dead. And this is a forest, or once was a forest, but there is some space between each tree. There's no other vegetation around.
Diamond formation with Bentwick in the middle. I don't know. Good enough. I'll be at the back.
Wait, okay. Are we stealthing in or just like meandering in? I'm asking our fearless leader.
Does the place look eerie and or haunted? Or would I know what that is?
Everyone can give me perception checks if they'd like. So, Poppy, you're keeping an eye out for possible creatures and any dangers. And you're pretty focused on that. And same thing with Core. The rest of you are looking more generally at the place itself, how you're trying to get a feel for this place. And there is this eerie sense of dread that comes over all of you. Something is off about this place, and you're not sure what. And then you start to notice slight differences as you were outside the tree line, the winds continued as they have for the past 3 days, whipping up the snow, drifts, and the ice. As soon as you cross into the tree line, the air becomes dead still. And as the sun crosses over and heads further west, casting shadows of the dead trees all around you, Belladin, you're the first to notice. The branches in the trees around you, as I said, are bare, bleached white, almost of bone. The shadows around you seem to be shadows of a full-grown forest with leaves on every branch. But you continue, and you see no movement. You sense no other creatures. Crunch of ice and snow beneath your boots.
As I get the weird feeling, Hal's like hammer slides to the hand, and he pulls his shield, and he'll look to Belladin and be like, "Maybe we should go quiet, Poppy." And he nods to Poppy, and I imagine she does her tippy-toe walk that always leaves no sound.
And now you know that Ormir said you have to try to seek the center.
But yeah, I already used the pass without a trace on the staff, and I'll just keep re-upping that, so we won't be leaving any tracks or anything.
And Belladin, as you were all journeying about an hour into this forest, you were the first to notice, as you look behind you, the trees have become obscured as a thick mist or fog seems to be rolling in from all sides behind you.
I will calmly alert to the party that there is some unnatural or even magical thing happening here, and that we should continue on and do our best to make our way towards the center, which I believe after an hour I would have a pretty good idea of how to get to the center based on what we saw from above before we landed.
Belladin, you also notice that despite your abilities, you find your movements hampered here.
Right. Yep.
And the fog rolls in behind you ever quicker before it overtakes you all. And as it does, you see now along all the trees what appear to be leaves appear as they are enveloped in the mist, but the leaves are made of pure ice. First off, I need everyone to make Constitution saving throws.
Wow, I rolled an 8. Nice.
Let's see, starting from the top. Poppy, you take 10 points of cold damage, and you resist the icy cold around you. Hal, you beseech the goddess to bring you luck, and you also take 10 points of cold damage and are not affected by anything else. Fentwick, you take 20 points of cold damage, and you suffer a point of exhaustion. Belladin, you do as well.
I am resistant to cold.
Yes, so you take half. And I would say you will make that save at advantage, Fentwick, because of that amulet. 16, just enough, so you can reduce that enough again, and you are not affected.
So that'd be 5 total, right?
Yeah. Belladin, you take 20 points of cold damage, and you suffer a point of exhaustion. Core, you take 10 points of cold damage, you do not suffer a point of exhaustion. As this mist surrounds you, and you see these kind of icy leaves suddenly appear along all the branches around you. Belladin, you're the first to notice something pass by you in the fog, and you turn to look around, and suddenly you see this face appear within the mist and then pull back. I'm going to need everyone to roll initiative.
Let's go.
As now, all around you, you see these faces appearing from the mist, of the mist, then disappearing. So you would know that towards the center is this way. So you're heading to the right corner of the map. Poppy, you're first to go.
Oh man. Want Poppy. First of all, can you describe the creatures? They're just faces?
So within this fog and mists just whipping around all around you are these faces kind of appear. But yeah, it's kind of almost amorphous, just faces appearing coming from the mist. Think of, like horror movies where like a ghost face would appear through like a bed sheet. It's like that, but with fog.
Poppy will, but these what I see on the map are the faces that I see. Okay, so Poppy will take out her. Actually, no. Poppy will peer behind a tree and bonus action hide. Yeah, bonus action hide.
Give me a stealth check. All right.
16, and then her action.
Imagine you still have pass without a trace, right?
I would assume so. Yes.
Yep.
Her action. Let's see here.
Yeah, which gives you +10 to your dex stealth check.
She, however, is going to hold her action, and she will attack the first. She will use her short bow to attack whomever Halianthar tries to attack. And that's action, bonus action, movement.
Whoa.
Oh, he gets consumed.
Possessed by the ghost.
You see this face kind of fly through the fog towards you, kind of disappearing and reforming for a moment as it does, almost flickering through the fog as it then goes through. You see this almost mist-like hand suddenly appear in front of you. 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Just made it. If that's correct.
So you take 4 points of cold damage as this ethereal hand reaches out and almost just caresses your cheek. You feel the almost immediate frostbite set in for a moment. 4, you're up.
My first roll was the other one.
Flies 60 feet. That is its turn. Fly 30 feet. That is its turn. That is its turn. Pal, you're up.
How would like to rage? I'm raging. Beyond 20, rage. All right, raged. He will take a swing at this creature here. Yes, take a swing at this creature here. I turn to face this creature, Poppy.
Poppy, you had a held action?
You want to do it after? Because I said whatever Poppy sees him attack, so I think she would do it after his attack, though.
Yep.
How your scream of rage is oddly muffled here in this fog.
Nice. I'm still going to hit him reckless. That is 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage.
And a 25 for 16 points of damage.
16 points of damage.
I'm going to action surge and make 2 more attacks. Or, I'm sorry, I did 2 attacks. Poppy, you want to make your attack?
Sure will. Thank you.
That hits.
For 19 points of damage. These are normal arrows.
These are normal arrows. As your arrow passes through this amorphous figure, when Howl's hitting it with its hammer, you could see its kind of face contort, and you'd see this kind of almost shimmering within the fog. As your arrow passes through, it doesn't seem quite as affected as much.
I will action surge and take another attack. 22 to hit.
22 hits.
Or 14 damage.
You swing your hammer once more, Hal. You see this face in the fog just dissipate.
And I will attack this one here below Fenthwick for my last attack. That is a 26 to hit.
26 hits.
For 19 damage.
19 damage, nice.
And I'm going to move it down south 5 feet and step into that position.
One goes 60 feet here. That's its turn.
Well, they look like they tried to hit me.
They moved up. That's all they could do.
Oh, okay. Well, I am very lucky then.
Fenthwick, you're up.
I am going to cast slow on
Oh,
All of these guys around, they're all within a 40-foot.
Indeed, they are.
1, 2, 3,
How many creatures?
up to 6.
Up to 6.
They must make a wisdom save. The DC is
5,
16.
6, 7. So there's 8 that could be effective. Who are you targeting?
Definitely these 4 closest to me,
Okay.
around Belladin and so on. And
One of them's dead.
one,
Oh, one of them is dead. So yeah, 7.
yeah, that guy, you can ignore
Yes,
him.
just choose which one you're ignoring. Which one?
You know what? I'm just gonna delete him. They dissipate into nothing.
So that's 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna ignore that guy.
I'll go starting with the one near Poppy. And this is a wisdom saving throw. That's a 14. To load. Go with this guy. What's your DC?
16.
16. Just failed. This one makes it. Next. Makes it as well.
Stupid wise frost wardens.
Makes it as well. And fails.
You got half of them.
So 3 out of the 6 fail, and you see these kind of what was once kind of this fluid flickering and reforming of movement, and ice crystals almost seem to coagulate like blood around them. You see this move between the space between you and Fentwick, Hal, as the mist just kind of, the face disappears into the mist and then just reforms behind you.
So you watch as thin and wispy flames just start in Belladin's hand and then just start spreading all over his body. And he is now shedding bright light. 10 with another 10 dim. And this provides me a warm shield. The shield grants me resistant to cold damage. And whenever a creature hits me with a melee attack, they take fire damage.
Anything else, Belladin?
With a bonus action, he does Shillelagh. So he just primes his staff to use it to smack somebody.
All right. Core will bonus action bring out the arms of astral self. Yes. All of these guys, just except for the one below Hal, are gonna need to make a dex save. DC 16.
I'm sorry, sir. You're gonna have to say that with a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
Apologize.
It's the cold and the fog, you know, it's just sapping Core's strength. All right, so which ones again, Core?
The 5 that are around Belladin and Fentwick. The one below Hal is too far.
Dex save. That's a 17.
Yeah, that'll save.
Right? And it's save or suck, right?
Correct.
That fails.
You said the top one got a 17?
Yes.
Is that one slowed?
That is true. So they get a penalty, right, to their dex saves?
I believe so.
It's -2, I think.
-2, so that would have brought it to
19.
19.
Oh,
Still
okay.
saves.
Well, yeah, that's still saves. You said 17, but this is 17 on the die. I see.
17 on the die, yeah. So this one will take 6 points of force damage.
Yep. That'll save.
Save.
That'll also
Save.
save. And
Fail.
that one fails. And then we shall...
As you all see bursting forth out of the ethereal plane, these... How do your astral arms look like, Core? I don't know if we've discussed that, or if we have, it's been a while. So if you can
Yeah, it's
describe
been-
how your astral arms look like coming out to
It
existence.
has been a while, and they actually look like roiling storm clouds beneath. Like I mean, they look like just big arms, but it looks like it's roiling storm clouds beneath the skin. And guess I will attack this guy. That'll miss.
Yes, unfortunately. You punch where the face was, and it just seems to have just dissipated and then reformed as you retracted your arm.
Right. Well, he disappeared, so let's try his neighbor.
12 unfortunately misses.
Does it make sense? Yeah, Core will pull back You want to take some swings?
They will target you. This one is going to 18.
That'll miss.
And then this one will also 17. Also miss. Top of the round. I need everyone to make dexterity saving throws for me, please.
What's the effect?
The leaves, icy, crystal-like leaves, suddenly all drop at high speed onto you all.
That's hilarious. All of the dexterous person is the person that fails it.
Nice.
Nice.
That is pretty funny
So-
because I've got a +3.
That's me rolling, not Poppy. So, Poppy, you take 13 points cold damage. The rest of you would take half that. And if anyone is resistant, you would take half that again.
Yeah. So Poppy would take 6.
Poppy, it is your go, though.
Poppy will drop her bow and say, "Sorry guys, I have an appointment somewhere else." And goes 40 feet to there, takes out her dagger, and goes stabby stabby.
Shank a bitch. Let's go.
So, and yeah, that definitely hits.
For 24 points of damage, and then Poppy will this time making sure that there's no leaves above her if she could see sky.
All right, Belladin. Gonna reach out and try to touch you.
Oh, I miss because I've got my shield. Thank God.
One's gonna do the same. One's going to try to attack you.
Has advantage.
19.
That misses.
Belladin. Guy gets his reaction back. And he's going to try to give you a nice caress. Natural 20. There we
Ooh,
go.
Wow.
And I need you to make a constitution saving throw for me, please.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to use my reaction before he rolls his con save to do Spirit Shield and
Okay.
reduce the damage by 8.
Boxcars, very nice. So that makes it 29. Well, we'll see how this concept
We'll
goes.
see. Because there is cold damage and necrotic damage, so it's different.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So you will take 16 cold damage, reduced to 4. Or not, sorry, reduced to 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
For your resistance.
My shield, yep.
Mm-hmm. And then half of the necrotic, we'll say, because of how the necrotic damage does not take.
Okay.
You would have been half of that, and then he reduced it by 8, so you don't take it into the necrotic. So you take.
So then I just take half the cold, which is.
Yep.
Okay.
And as this fog and mist reaches out, and you just feel it barely brush against you, Belladin, you see the fire kind of surrounding you. For a moment, you see it spread over the hand, but you see no reaction in the face.
Oh,
And eventually the fire goes out, and the cold intensifies.
so my fire shield goes away?
No, your fire shield is still there.
Oh, but it doesn't affect the creature.
Didn't seem to affect them at all.
Okay. Well, I'm happy with the reduction to cold damage, so I'll keep it up.
Mm-hmm. That is their turn. Hal.
Unmuted. I'll attack the creature next to Fenwick. With reckless attack, features actions, attack action, attack. That is a 22
22 hits.
for 13 damage. I'd like to move it here. It is also marked with ancestral protectors. And then I'll make my second attack to the one below me. Below me.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a 16
16 still hits.
for 17 damage.
As this one also dissipates into nothingness and into the fog surrounding.
I will move next to Fenwick,
He's already next to Fenswick.
to here.
You see this amorphous face just kind of flying through the air, and as it gets closer, you see this hand suddenly appear right in front of you.
Fun. That'll hit.
25.
Assuming I need a con save. Oh, that's a pretty good
Yes.
roll. 18.
That's enough. So you take 9 points of cold and 3 points of necrotic. as you feel where this strange entity touches your skin. I would say you almost don't feel it, as the skin immediately freezes and almost turns black, as frostbite immediately sets in.
Definitely should have kept that sleeve.
That's its turn. It can go half speed.
Yes.
All right, that's enough. And it can take an action, which it will do to attack. 22.
That also hit. Yep. 23 on the con save.
23. All right, so that's 10 points of cold and 4 points of necrotic.
Don't forget to make his save.
Save for slow. Belladin.
Oh, Belladin's hurting. Yeah, that hits.
Oof. 24. Damage, where are you? You make the con save, so you take 5 points of necrotic and 2 points of cold. As once again, you see the fire spread out to the fog, and then just
Oh, I'm glad I can tank. You know, every group needs a tank.
natural 1, still slowed. Bentwick, you're up.
Okay. I'm gonna throw a 3rd level magic missile at this injured guy over here. So 5 of those.
5 of those. That was 5. You can see its face trying to reform into the mist, and it's barely hanging on as these bolts of arcane energy suddenly swirl out of Fentwick. It's going to attack you, Hal.
Mm-hmm.
Steve has advantage.
Mm-hmm. 20 hits.
20 hits. I need a con save, please.
All righty. To con. 14.
So you take 10 points of cold damage and 3 points of necrotic. That is its turn. Oh, we should have gotten its reaction back a while ago. All right, Belladin, you're up.
Okay. Get some free HP.
Belladin, go ahead and give me a perception check as well.
Natural 1 for 10.
Natural 1.
And that's Belladin's turn.
Don't want to go over there. Yeah, Core is going to bonus action Step of the Wind to disengage and run over by Belladin. And he will pull out the longbow of Hell Legolas and aim for this very badly injured one.
Okay, go for it. 12 unfortunately misses.
Try
As
a
you
second one. Why?
feel an arrow whiz past your head, a second whiz past your other ear, Hal.
My dice think I'm playing Conan. Okay, that's my turn.
So, I'll say at the top of the round, the fog and mist appears to grow heavier, the cold more biting. I need everyone to make Constitution saving throws for me, please. All right, as you feel the cold seeping into your bones, Hal, Fentwick, and Belladin, you're able to kind of steel yourselves against it. Poppy and Core, you feel the cold again seep into your very being. You are slowed for this next round. All right, Poppy, it is your go.
Forgot what's my limitation on my movement with slow.
Half your movement.
No bonus action, right? Or reaction?
Nope, just an action. Or bonus. You can do a bonus action or an action. You can't do both.
Okay, then Poppy will go behind the tree and do a hide. And that's all she can do.
Right, he's going to try to reach out and touch you, Fentwick. 16.
Nope.
This one as well.
Shield.
As you feel this, as you kind of back away from the first, as this hand appears, the second one comes closer and it's about to touch you when you throw up your arcane ward. But not your ability arcane ward, just your shield. 26 to hit you, Fentwick.
That one will hit me.
I would like to use my reaction to reduce it. Using
Reduce the
my-
attack or reduce the damage?
Reduce the damage by 2d6. Let's do reduce it by 7.
So you will take 5 points of cold and 5 points of necrotic, so that's 10 total, and then reduced to 7, so you'll take 3 points total, let's say.
I'm sorry, run that one past me again.
You're resistant to cold damage, right? So you reduce the 10 to 5. You made your save, so the 11 points of necrotic also become 5. So you take 10 points total, but Hal reduces the amount of damage you take by 7. So you're only taking 3 points of damage.
And unfortunately, slow drops.
Slow drops. All right.
I think there's only one guy it was still affecting anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, there's two. There's one over here and one over here.
Yep. This one over
Well,
here.
regardless, it drops.
Yeah, bummer.
Hal.
Hal, you might want to get at least 15 feet away from me.
Belladin will point towards the center of the forest where we were headed and tell everyone that the fog is clearer there. So he points in that direction and says the fog is clear there, and motion towards the ice fog enemies that we are fighting. So I don't know if we want to start moving in that direction or not.
Alrighty.
Yeah, to the northeast.
Hal will take an attack against this one here to the bottom right. Recklessly. Watch out.
Nice.
Sick.
Let's do this. Crit damage roll. It rolled in D&D Beyond for 21.
21, that's fine, as this one also dissipates into nothing.
Second attack, he will attack the one here next to Fenthwick. That is another natural 20. Let's go. So we'll do it again. It's going to roll in whatchamacallit roll. That is another 17 damage.
17 damage. Nice.
Is that, let me see. That's going to be actually 19 damage because it doesn't have, for whatever reason, it doesn't calculate rage. And I'm going to move him up here. One. He has ancestral protectors. And Hal is going to move. Bonus action, second wind. Watcha!
Right. This one flies towards you, Fenthwick. 24 to hit. Miss for your with your shield still up. Very nice. 30 feet. Perfect.
All right, our plan is working. Let's just lead Fenthwick. Let's go.
18 also misses due to shield.
But it would have missed anyway, so.
Yep. That's a natural 20. I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw, please. As this one, you were blocking through. This one is actually able to, you see its hand push through your wards and grasp at your neck. Con save just enough. So you take 14 points of cold damage, reduced to 7 due to your resistance, and then 8 points of necrotic. And it is your turn now, Fenthwick.
Thunderstep.
All right.
At 4th level. So they all must make con saves.
Con saves. Let's start with the top.
18 makes it. And DC is 16.
Okay, so we'll take half of 20, so 11 points. All right, we'll go with this one next. Fails. So he will take 23 points of damage. Ooh. And he is thrown back, right? No, it's just, I think it's, oh, no. That's a different thing. All right, next one. As you hear this, all hear this loud, thunderous crack of energy as Fenthwick disappears and appears. 23 points to this guy. Nice. Man, that's pretty much hitting everyone, isn't it?
Yep.
Ooh, natural 1. Unfortunately, he will take the full brunt of it. And one more. 15 does not quite make it, as another one takes the full force. Very nice. As you see these all the shapes flicker for a moment as they take this thunderous amount of damage.
Belladin's gonna look to the south where Fenthwick is and say, we need to go to the northeast where the center of the grove is. The fog is clear there. It may be safe.
Then why did you all run away? Why did you all run to the southeast then?
I didn't notice it until recently, and everyone else went that way. Alright, so I get next to Hal. I am really hurting here, so I'm wondering if I should... Well, actually, that's kind of funny. I always love a good funny thing.
Moonbeam.
Dang. Only hits 4 of them.
We'll do that on their turn.
Yep, start of their turn, and I don't have a bonus action. Not really. Yeah, I can only Misty Step
Should-
once a day. Oh yeah, good call. I'm gonna take one of these regular healing potions with my bonus
All
action.
right, as a
Good
bonus
call.
action, we do roll for it.
Yep. Thank you for the reminder. 7.
7 points of healing. Everything counts.
Yep. Yes, it does.
Core, it is your turn. You are slowed.
Slowed, and for some reason can't hit anything, so he's just gonna follow instructions and start moving to the northeast.
You're at half movement.
He's just gonna dash, right? Because he's still taking dash action while slowed, right?
Yes, you can't take your action though. It's either action or bonus action.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's just gonna dash. Obviously.
Top of the round, Poppy and Core, you are no longer slowed, and you see forming from the mist 3 more of these creatures start to appear. So they aren't coming from the direction; they're actually coming what appears to be the edge of the forest, as you can no longer see where you had come from previously, as the fog and mist are too thick. Poppy, here you go.
Okay, so Poppy will take the moonbeam and also put down a Nathair's Mischief.
And how does it look when Poppy casts this magic?
You can't quite see it, really. It's the effect just manifests itself. Because she's hidden, if the effect works, then it just works. Well, there's no hint of whatchamacallit due to magical ambush. So if they're hidden, they will need to if I am hidden, they will need to roll a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage.
As you cast this spell, you see the faces all turn towards your direction, Poppy. That one saved, though.
Yeah, save is 13.
Okay.
Fails, passes, and passes. Okay. Anything else, Poppy?
Bonus action dash, and bam, she's right next to Core.
So they make a con save. Failure. I'm just gonna make all the con
Yeah,
saves
it's a DC
first.
17. Wow, I rolled like shit.
Failure.
Save.
Middle one makes it.
I think that's all of them. It's just the 4.
Oh, it's just the 4.
Yeah, I can't hit those 2 to the south, unfortunately. So the one in the middle takes 8 radiant, and the other ones take 16, depending on their, immunities and all that.
4. Okay. Move in a random direction.
Yeah, and I think they move in a random direction when the spell goes off.
Oh, that's a bummer then.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Just luck on hit that one.
Yeah, so they wouldn't have taken any damage.
Okay, so give me a moment. This one still would, because he's not affected.
Right.
All right, so that one is going to take. He failed, so he takes the full 16. Then going to go towards you. That is his turn.
Okay, as it enters there, I'm going to use my reaction. The DC 17 Constitution saving throw.
On save,
Oh, okay. I think it's nothing then. Yep, no damage.
one's going to move there. That is their turn. Hal, you're up.
All right. Hal is going to hit this creature with a reckless attack. Double 12s for
That hits
21 for 15 total damage.
as this one dissipates into nothing.
And then he's going to turn around and swing at this other creature that is just below Belladin.
Nat 20. You're on a roll. 27 points of damage. It had exactly 27 hit points. Also disappears into the mist. 55, 60 feet. That's his turn. 60 feet. Up to 1 minute. So yeah, still giggling. Still going to go in a random direction. 3. All of its movement, correct?
Yes, and I think wait, so can it take an action since it's incapacitated?
Probably not.
Then it could only go 30 feet.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Good call, Adam.
That's its turn. And I believe once it enters, right?
Yep. If it's using its own movement, yes. Amazing.
I think I rolled what, 16?
Yes.
Yes, I did. Yeah, radiant damage.
All right, 16.
That's awesome.
Fentwick, you're up.
I'm going to cast haste on myself. And then I'm going to move. Then I'm going to use my extra action to dash.
So we're all just booking it, right?
Well, I mean, we should do damage if we can, but yeah, it seems like there's a safer place. At least there's less fog up there. Was it my turn?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, these combats are just so long. There's just so much going on. Okay, I've got a dude right in my face, it looks like. Does this guy have ancestral protections or anything on him, or anything that I should know about?
Just injured.
DC 17 Constitution saving throw, please.
Fails.
Nice, 10 points of
10
necrotic damage.
points. Nice. As you see your spores kind of thicken around the creature, and you see its kind of fluid movement slow as it's almost underwater.
Nice.
That was your reaction, I believe, right?
Yes. Oh, that probably doesn't hit. 14.
14 barely misses.
Oh,
As its form kind of the face dissipates as your staff tries to strike it, and then reforms.
well, I'm just gonna move then.
It will definitely take an attack of opportunity on you.
Yep.
Oh, that was so close to a natural 20.
Ooh, yeah, it was. All right, I am next to my cousin, and that is it all.
All right, Core.
All right, Core's gonna take a couple shots with the bow, see if that works now. What the? I mean, I'm rolling from roll 20. I stopped rolling from Foundry. I'm rolling from the other
It's
side
because
now.
you're in roll 20.
I'm not. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in roll 20.
Rolling from 20 would be a
You know what?
big
You know
issue.
what?
That'd be really funny.
Core just dies. Core just dies. That's what I'm doing here.
It's like poured it over from roll 20. It's like what?
Oh,
Ow.
did they not move over because I didn't press the button? Okay, but he rolled 2 13s in a row. So just
So
you guys can
213
share
on the
in my
dice
misery.
or 213 total?
2 4s on the dice, 2 13s
Oof.
total in a row.
Yeah, both
So
miss,
he's just gonna
unfortunately.
go ahead and is it a bonus action to kill yourself? What are we doing here?
Oh. Oh.
I'm gonna go ahead and end my turn. I think I just got mad and closed the encounter. So let's see if I can go in here and end my turn. There it is.
Our top of the round, fog and mist starts to swirl around you, and the sun hitting it starts to shine brighter, reflecting off of it. As the light gets brighter and brighter and brighter, I need everyone to make Constitution saving throws for me, please.
I'm going to use lucky.
Oh my God, first good con save.
Absolutely amazing, Core.
I was due for a bad one.
I'm going to use Arcane Deflection and add 4 to my roll.
Okay, I think that's good. So everyone made it but Belladin. Belladin, you are blinded for the next round. All right, Poppy, you're up.
All right, let me go and move this thing 10 feet. Mhm.
So they are no longer
Right there.
incapacitated.
Mm-hmm.
Now, instead, drops of molasses hover over the cube, making it difficult terrain until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
Nice.
And then,
That's a fun spell.
Acor. That's it. Two may have needed or not needed to dash to get there. I didn't count. I mean, technically, she could go another 40 feet.
Difficult terrain. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60.
I think Al's going to put away his hammer and then drag Belladin 40 feet.
Belladin, you suddenly feel yourself being pulled through the snow and ice.
And then I'll rage. I don't have to do it until the start of my turn. My next turn if I don't attack. End of my next turn if I don't attack. That's my turn.
It's going to go up 60 feet, 60 feet, 60 feet, 60 feet.
That one just dies, right?
Con save. Fails. Yes. Under the moonbeam, it just dissipates into nothing.
Oh, I didn't even get to roll.
It's fine. Didn't have enough hit points.
I want to roll. Oh, I rolled bad anyway. Man, 5d10, I get a 12. Ugh.
He had 11 hit points. So, Fentwick, you're up.
I will move there. Then I will thunderstep again.
All right.
Mm.
Let's go.
Did anyone else notice how much of a dick Fentwick is?
Con save, right?
Yep.
It's really funny, man.
Saves, fails, fails. So this one will take half damage. So 7 points, right?
Apparently.
Mhm.
Crappy roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
We'll take 15. Ooh, barely hanging on. Wasn't not affected. So 15. So anything else, Fentwick?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I still have an extra action, so I can still move another 50 feet.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you're hasted, right?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
Right.
slowpokes!
To go 60 feet. Belladin, you are blinded.
Man, I wish I could move the sunbeam, but I'm blinded. Like, I literally don't know where to put it. Movement and action. I just keep going north. Knowing the forest, it being my favorite terrain, I just know that I need to go northeast. And before I was blinded, I knew that there was a path to the north that didn't have any trees in it. I don't know if you want me to roll anything. I don't know if there's like roots here coming up.
No,
out of
your
the
passive
snow.
perception is high enough to,
Okay.
even blinded, kind of feel your way through your favorite terrain. So
Yep. Movement and action to dash. So that is my turn.
Core. He just walks off.
Yep. He's good. We'll see. We'll see if he ever stops running.
Core just runs straight in to the opposite direction of you all.
Oh, the fog? Oh no!
What you doing, Core?
Jason's like, did I stutter?
There's a wall. I can't go that far.
How much more feet of movement do you have? 10?
Yep.
All right.
Debating.
I will say,
Step of the wind.
Core, as you make it here, and Fentwick can see now, there's a large clearing of no trees and just heavy snow drifts where there doesn't appear to be any fog. The fog seems to end at the tree line, which you hear so you can see. Wait, top of the round. I will need, let's see, Belladin, you are good. I will need Fentwick, Poppy, and Hal to make dexterity saving throws for me, please.
Oh, thank God. I would have been at a disadvantage because I'm blind.
Is it the same icy stuff?
Yep. Yeah, you're in the perfect square, Belladin, literally.
That's amazing.
23. You all make it, so you'll take half of this, so 7 points of cold damage. If you have any resistances, you can further half it. As once again, these ice leaves just suddenly fly off the branches. Poppy, you're up.
Poppy will catch up to Core.
All right, and once again, as you leave the tree line, the fog does not enter into this clearing.
I can just put myself next to him.
Yep, go ahead. Now I've got a bunch of guys to move. 60 feet. Hal.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rick. Am I still blind?
No, you're no longer blind.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Sorry, Rick.
All good. I'm going to run. Can I do bonus? I will run.
Man, does that tree
Action dash.
explode as Hal runs through it? Does that like it's just a linebacker going through a concrete wall, just whoosh,
It has an outline of Hal.
in the trunk? In the trunk, yep. Cartoon
I will
style.
say that none of them can really. Hasted, Fentwick, you make it as well. These will all just move up.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. We're gonna try a little something.
Little something, something.
A little something.
Some.
Something. Actually, no. That's ridiculous. Well, no. It's not ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
But it's gonna be a shillelagh act. I've already shillelagh'd it. Now it's just on the weapon.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, of course I roll
15
4.
hits.
Oh, thank God.
Wow.
You have advantage if you want to crit fish.
Oh, I do have advantage. So Bree's home. She's sitting next to me, and
Mhm.
everyone says hi. And I said Shillelagh, and she texted me Shillelagh D's nuts. So just to know where you're at. Okay.
We approve. Spell it in, you automatically get disadvantage on all your rolls for the rest of the night.
Oh, they just said I get
So that's
disadvantage on
sick
all my
burn.
rolls because of your sick burn. Like an extra D8, so that becomes 12 damage from the Shillelagh. The reaction's also going to go off, so I need a con save.
Mm.
Oh,
19.
good for him. All right, save.
Mhm.
And then, because of the Zephyr Strike,
Yep.
no
Does an
attacks of
attack.
opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I used 20 to get over here, so that leaves me 50 plus 8, so that leaves 20.
60
then-
more.
Yeah, well, it'd be 65 for me. You watch as I just zoom past you, Hal. Probably faster than you've ever seen before, because this is the first time I've cast Zephyr Strike on myself.
4, you're in the clearing, out of the encounter.
Crying.
I'll say the only one left, Hal.
Did you say crying, Jason?
I'm gonna need a con save from you. Yep, as the fog thickens once more.
Uh-oh.
Oh, do you have another point of luck?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna use it.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be another
Oh,
natural
Oh,
one.
so did I. Oh, that was gonna hurt.
You are not slowed, Hal. And I will say, with your speed, you are able to make it into the clearing as well. As you all make it out of the tree line into this heavy snow-packed clearing, you see the fog and mist roiling around in the trees, and the faces just appearing and reappearing. More of these faces all around, surrounding this area now, but they do not cross past the tree line. And now that you are out of the fog, you see once more the trees still bare, no leaves, not even made of ice, but the shadows they cast still look like they're full. But for the moment, you think that the danger has passed, as the creatures do not pursue you, nor does the fog. You get a moment to breathe.